Welcome back to the Enough is Enough podcast, where enough is enough. If you're living with or married to a narcissist, we're going to get you the heck out. Dr. David E. Clark here, Clark with an E, your host, your gracious host. Today's topic, the narcissist on Mom Me Part 2. This is the second part in a series I'm doing in this Enough is Enough podcast on the YouTube channel. And it's based on my brand new series, The Narcissist Unmommed Me, How to Fight Back and Win Your Kids Back. In this war to win your kids back, righteous anger is your friend. Many, if not most, in the Christian community tell you to not be angry and to not express your anger. These people are clueless, wrong, and don't understand the Bible's teaching on anger. If you listen to them, you'll never get your kids back. And all kinds of awful things happen when you hold your anger in. In this video, I explain the importance of anger in your parental alienation war and how to tap it and express it. This video is based on my brand new video series, The Narcissist Unmommed Me. It's available only on my website, daviddclarkphd.com, Clark with an E. Okay, today's specific topic. Do not stuff your righteous anger at your kid. In this alienation nightmare, it's perfectly healthy and normal to be angry at many persons, frankly, and God expects you to be. Satan for masterminding the whole operation because he's behind the whole stinking mess. The sleazeball narc, of course, for brainwashing your child and weaponizing your child against you. Certainly should be angry at him, furious. You won't share it with him, but you'll be angry. All those who side with the narc and are still friendly and nice to him. This man who has turned one of your kids or all of them against you. These are idiots and abusers themselves, have nothing to do with them. In fact, in one of my videos, I talk about just cutting these morons off. They're worse than morons, they're abusers. All those stupid, apathetic, callous morons in our joke of a legal system as well. You're going to be angry at them. Boy, the stories I hear. I've written a book called, what's the name of that book? Oh, yes, Escaping Your Narcissist. Thank you, Phil Dugas. And this is all in the legal process, all of the stories I hear, and many of them are in this book. What a joke of a legal system. You're angry at those people too, and you should be. Now, it's also perfectly healthy and normal and necessary to be angry at your child. But while it's easy to be angry at others in this war for your kid, it's not easy to be angry at your kid. You're trying very hard to not be angry at your kid, the kid who is abusing you and rejecting you. But your righteous biblical anger at your kid is inside you, and it's inside you for good reasons. If you want to be depressed, fearful, overwhelmed, and desperate, keep stuffing your anger. Many in the church want you to stuff your anger, and you certainly can't be angry at your child. You are anyway. I'm asking you to acknowledge it and express it, not with your child directly, but to others. If you want to be energized, determined, focused, and productive to be a warrior, like this lady here in the cover of the new video series, stop stuffing your anger. God wants you to express your anger. He could have made us as human beings without any emotions at all and without anger. He didn't do that. And we see throughout the Bible examples of God being angry, Jesus being angry, many characters in the Bible being angry and expressing it. In this video, I'm going to help you tap into your anger, your righteous anger. I'm good at getting people angry. Ask the Blonde. It's like a gift. Anyway, in my ebook, Codependent Hell, I go into great detail on the Bible's teaching on righteous anger, and that's part of breaking your trauma bond. That will be a good resource for you to get, as well as this video series I'm talking about here. But here, I'm going to give you a crash course on righteous anger. The Bible and anger, it is clear as a bell. We find righteous anger throughout the Bible. God is angry at sinners. Jesus is angry at sinners. David is angry at sinners. And righteous anger is taught and encouraged throughout the Bible in many passages. Now, a central, powerful passage on righteous anger is Ephesians 4:22 through 32. Here is what this passage, written by Paul, teaches us. 1, expressing righteous anger is part of your new self, your ongoing transformation into the godly person God wants you to be. Why would Paul, in the midst of a passage and a section in Ephesians, talking about the transformation into this new self, why would he mention anger? Because it's part of the transformative process. 2, expressing your anger is part of being honest and truthful. 3, if you're not expressing your anger, you're lying. 3, you can be angry and not sin. In fact, if you don't express your anger, that's when you will sin. 4, when you express your anger, you deny Satan a foothold in your life. Look, Satan is already working extremely hard through the narc and your child to get a foothold. Don't give him any help. 5, when you express your righteous anger, you avoid bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. That's what this passage in Ephesians 4 teaches. If you don't express your righteous anger, it festers and it stays inside, and it leads to all these horrible things. When you stuff your anger, all these things happen to you. 6, when you express your anger, you can forgive your child. On this anti-alienation journey I'm taking you on, in the Narcissist Unmom Me video series, you need to continue to express your anger at your child. Now, not directly to your child, to God and to your support team. If you continue to get your anger out at your child with these other people, you can continue to forgive your child, and that's important. Okay, next, how to get and maintain righteous anger at your child. Here's a few ideas. You'll find more in the video series, The Narcissist Unmom Me. Step 1, verbal venting. Sit down with God and at least one key human supporter. These are 2 separate meetings, one with God, one with your human support person, and vent your anger at your child. Put your child, this is a psychological tool I've used for years in my private practice. You put your child in an empty chair, all right? And visualize the child being in the chair across from you, and you let it fly. You're talking as if you're talking to your child. Of course, your child isn't there. Doesn't make a difference. Psychologically, after a minute to a minute and a half, it's as if your child is sitting there, and it works. God will make it work. And when you're venting your spleen, there's no holding back, no excuses for your child, no justifications for your child's behavior. In these venting sessions, you're blaming your child, not the narc. Talk through what your child has said to you, what your child has done to you up to now. Vent your spleen. It's raw, it's totally honest, it's detailed. Don't mention any hurt or sadness or devastation, only anger. How dare you? I am furious with you. My worst enemy wouldn't treat me this way. After all I've done for you as a mom, you would never say this to your child, but this is how you're feeling, and you're venting it to God and to a very close person, humanly speaking. It may take several meetings to get all your anger out. Take the time. Pray that God will help you wash out all your anger up to now. He'll do that. Step 2, I want you to write a letter to your child. You're not going to send it. This is a letter you're going to read to God and to your support person. And if you have a Christian therapist, you'll read it to your therapist. Use paper, regular paper, because the act of putting words on a page connects you to your anger, and that's important. This isn't a word processing thing. This letter is the written form of what you have verbally vented to your child. Just as you don't verbally vent to your child, okay, you're not going to send this letter, but you're going to write it all out. It's raw, it's visceral, it's from the gut, it's brutally honest, like vomiting on paper. Dear Timmy, dear Susie, maybe not even dear, this is what's happened, I'm furious, I can't believe, how could you, all that important. You don't express this, it will fester in you and it will destroy you. Let your anger and rage pour out of you. Write out specific events, specific times when your child abused you and treated you terribly. You will never forget those times, will you? You don't write them all out, that would be too much paper, but you write out key ones. Write as much as you need to. This is not an outline, it's not a list, and it's not a summary. This is a complete novel. It could be 40 pages long. So be it. That's fine. When you finish the letter, read it to God, just you and God. You always involve God in the healing process, and then read it to at least one of your human supporters, ideally to a best friend, maybe your new spouse, or a close friend of the same sex, and to your Christian therapist. That would be great. When you have read the letter in these meetings, burn the letter to embers. Don't shred it, burn it. The verbal venting and letter will clean out your righteous anger up to now. And these actions will set the stage for your continued expression of righteous anger as you go along on this journey. There'll be other times, many other times, when you'll be angry at your child. Perfectly normal. Got to keep cleaning it out. Which brings me to my next step. Step 3, continue to get your righteous anger out. Your child will continue to abuse you, to do the narc's bidding, to reject you, to make you suffer, and you will be angry, and you should be. To keep your emotional system clean and stay physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy, you need to express your anger when it comes up, as Ephesians 4 teaches. As it comes up, you express it as soon as you can. Journal it, write it out to get it out, and you'll do a lot of writing. Maybe even every day as things come up in you. Your child may have cut you off and you have no contact with your child. And so they're not attacking you directly. You're still going to be angry at times, and that's perfectly normal. Vent to God and to key members of your support team to get your anger out, and you'll do a lot of venting too. As we learned in Ephesians 4, 22 through 32, by expressing your righteous anger when it comes up in you, you clean it out so you don't remain angry. The crazy thing is, when you stuff your anger, that's when you remain angry and get bitter and resentful and do a lot of other nasty, destructive things. That's the dumb thing about all these Christians, pastors, even Christian leaders, Christian media people, friends of yours. You know what? They're clueless. They want you not to be angry. They think it's a sin. It's not. And they want you to stuff it and never share it. That will destroy you. They're wrong. It's when you don't express it, it will kill you. So as you get angry, and you will a million times in this war for your kids, get it out. If you say to me, Dave, boy, I am really struggling, and you're honest, I'm really struggling to get in touch with my anger and express it. Okay, no worries, that's normal too. Maybe it's your personality or there's some block inside. That's why I wrote Codependent Hell. If this book doesn't get you mad, nothing will. That's why I wrote it, to tap your righteous anger. So pick this resource up too, ebook of mine. Codependent Hell, and my video series, The Narcissist Unmom Me, which this video is based on, are all on my website, along with all the resources I have to escape the narc and deal with the aftermath. DavidEClark.phd.com, Clark with an E. And if you like what I'm saying, and who couldn't like what Dr. Clark is saying? Actually, plenty. But if you like it, join our anti-sleazeball narc team by subscribing to our YouTube channel.